Hey guys, Putt here bringing you the first match of week number 2 of the NABA. In this matchup, we've got two 1-0 teams. We got the Torres Torkoals and the Sanchez Sandshrews. And like I said, both of these teams came out with a victory in week number 1. So one of these teams is looking to go to 2-2 to start the season, which is a great start to the season. As you can see here, I added a little overlay with the logos onto each side here, just to make it a little bit more personal. Tell me what you think about it. I think it looks pretty decent. They're a little bit blurry, so I might have to mess around with them to make to where they don't look as blurry when they're shrunk down like this. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good, and I like it more than just the characters standing there. I think it's pretty cool. So yeah, guys, let's just jump right into this battle. So on the top side of the Torkoals, we've got Pyroar, Regirock, Galvantula, Garchomp, Zapdos, Nidoqueen, and then on the bottom with the Sandshrews, we got Weavile, Breloom, Mimikyu, Alolan Muck, Miss Magius, and the Manaphy. Okay, so the Pokemon to watch on the Torkoal side is the Garchomp. He is the Week 1 MVP of the whole league, picking up 4 KOs last week. So he's definitely the Pokemon that we're going to be keeping an eye on. And then on the bottom side, we're going to be keeping an eye on that Weavile, as the Weavile can hit a lot of things on the Torkoal side hard. And he's also, I believe, the Week 1 MVP for Colton's team. I believe he had 2 KOs, maybe 3. I can't exactly remember, but I think Manaphy might have also had 2 as well. So, both of those Pokemon are definitely dangerous and definitely something to watch out for. But I'll give it to Weavile in this case because of how much damage it could do to the Torkoals. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump into this game. All right, so we see the Galvantula and Breloom lead. Let me pause it real quick. So this is really bad for the Sanchez because the Sandshrews do not have a spinner or a defogger, so if the webs get up, he has no way to get rid of them, which is really bad, especially for a team that has Pokemon in it like Weavile and Manaphy and even Breloom, to be honest, and Mimikyu. All of them Weavile is really fast, but the other 3 have decent speed. So having the webs up is really bad for this team, and he has no way to get rid of them because he didn't bring a spinner. He should have brought Cloyster this week and just figured out some way to do it, or maybe figured out a better counter to the Galvantula lead. I'm not really sure, but he doesn't have a spinner though, so let's just play it. So he goes for the Rock Tomb and brings Galvantula down to his sash, as he does get up the webs, and then the Breloom finishes him off on the turn 2 with the Rock Tomb. Let me pause it again real quick. So this is a pretty big misplay on the Torkoal side. One thing that you have to pay attention to is speeds. The Breloom should always be outsped by Galvantula unless it's Choice Scarfed. So this is obviously Choice Scarfed Breloom because he was outspeeding Galvantula. And since it's Choice Scarfed, it's going to outspeed Pyroar as well, because Pyroar and Galvantula, I believe they both have 109 speed. Or something like that. It's really close to that. And also, he's locked in a Rock Tomb, which is also a super effective move onto the Pyroar. And this is Technician Breloom, so it's going to be Technician boosted as well. So he switches right into the Rock Tomb. Oh. And it almost kills. So I went and ran the calc on this. I'm unsure of what set this Breloom is. If it's an adamant set, I ran the calc, and it has a 37% chance to one-hit KO. So he's able to survive, but there was a decent chance that this could have one-hit KO'd. And if this one-hit KOs, this game is in a really tough spot for the Torkoals, because that means that he's in the hole 0-2, and this Breloom has not even been touched yet. So that could have been a really bad start. But he's able to survive, and then he's able to finish off the Breloom with the Flamethrower. But like I said, it could have been a huge misplay, but it ends up working out just fine as he's able to pick it up. But his Pyroar, that's all his Pyroar is really going to get to do. It gets off of some chip damage onto the Muck, but then the Muck's finishing it off. So the Pyroar, he's able to kill the Breloom, but that's all he gets done. Still a little bit of a misplay and could have been really bad. So in comes the Reggie, and let's just watch this play. Alright, so this is an interesting play because the Reggie obviously threatens the Muck with a Earthquake, and but the Muck just stays in and goes for the knockoff. I'm sure he just wants to get rid of those leftovers. That did a ton of damage. Okay, that knockoff did 25%, and I was like, what in the world? I know it's stab, but still, I don't know. This might be banded Alolan Muck, because that did 25%. I don't know, because I don't know. That just did a ton of damage. Maybe I'm just maybe I'm just thinking about Regirock's defense being way better than what it really is. But that did so much. I feel like that's banded. But anyways, I think the Torkoals thought that he was gonna switch, so he just throws up the rocks for free, and so yeah, it's a good play on both sides. He gets rid of the leftovers on the Sandshrews side, and the Torkoals get up the rocks. And since there's no spinner, the rocks are up for good. So I would still give the play to the Torkoals because, like I said, the rocks are going to be there the rest of the game guaranteed. So let's just keep playing. But now he's got to switch out. And the reason I said this is probably banded is because, like, he switches out. He didn't switch out in the first turn, but then he switches out in the second turn because he knows knockoff's not going to do anything now that he's lost his item. And it only did 25% to begin with. So I think he just gets out of there because he's not... I will not do anything with his next knockoff, and Earthquake kills me for sure. So he goes into Manaphy. And Manaphy takes the Earthquake pretty good. Manaphy's really bulky mon. And after the leftovers is sitting still pretty healthy. So he goes for the Tail Glow here. And I feel like this is a pretty big misplay. Honestly, it's tough to say because the Manaphy's in a really tough spot in this game. If you look at the Zapdos, it completely checks this, or it doesn't check. Like, Zapdos can't switch into a Tail Glow in Manaphy because if he goes for the Ice Beam, even +3 Scald might even do the job, but especially an Ice Beam will definitely take out the Zapdos. So he can't switch in completely free, but if he sacks him on and then goes into Zapdos, Zapdos completely just outspeeds and kills this thing no problem. If it was just Garchomp and Reggie left, I think this play would have been fine because I think Manaphy probably can take an Outrage from this range just because it looks really bulky from what I've seen. And so it might have been able to take an Outrage from that range and then could have returned KO with an Ice Beam. And then it could have killed Reggie with a Scald. Nidoqueen probably outspeeds it. So that probably wouldn't have been a good one either. Especially under webs because I think this is bulky Manaphy. So I think Nidoqueen definitely outspeed it. Especially under the webs for sure. So anyways, let's just play it here. So the Manaphy goes down. And like I said, I think that Tail Glow might have been too early. It might have been just better if he just fired off some damage, and then fired out a Scald. He would have got a little bit of damage on the Zapdos, and then could have switched out or something. I don't know what the play would have been. The best play would have been, honestly. Like I said, it's tough to say because he's in a tough situation here. So out comes the Mimikyu, and the Torkoals make the right play by staying in and T-bolting. He's able to break the disguise. If he would have switched, it would have gave Mimikyu a free Swords Dance, and Mimikyu could have gotten two Swords Dances up and probably just swept and won the game. But anyways, he drops the Mimikyu really low, and then the Mimikyu gets a high roll after the low roll and is able to finish off the Zapdos. Then in comes a Reggie because it is the physical wall, and the Para comes through and the Earthquake. I don't know how much that would have done, probably like 20%. Judging by how much that Alolan Mux hit did, the +2 Shadow Snake might have done more than I thought. Anyways, Earthquake comes through, kills the Muck, so that's Reggie's second KO of the game. Then in comes the Mismagius. So here's a pretty big misplay on the Torkoals' part. The Sandshrews get up the free nasty plot, and I don't know if it's just a lapse in paying attention on the Torkoals side and not noticing that Mismagius didn't get caught in the webs because of Levitate, or if it's just like a lack of research because Mismagius is an Inumon after all, and those are the ones that you pay the least attention to because those are the ones that they're like the least threatening. So he probably didn't research Mismagius all that well and didn't even realize it had Levitate. So he lets Mismagius get up a free nasty plot, which is really, really bad. So I do like to play the Torkoals make here. He just goes straight into his Nidoqueen, and he's just going to sack a Nidoqueen off. And I think this is definitely the right play because now he can go into his Garchomp. And so Mismagius goes for the Dazzling Gleam, and the Roselli Berry comes through, and he's able to live the Dazzling Gleam. It did 66%. Without the Roselli Berry, it definitely one-hit KOs for sure. So the Roselli Berry coming in big time. If Garchomp gets one-hit KO'd here, it dies. If it doesn't have the Roselli Berry, it dies. And then Regirock has 74%. I ran the calcs last night after they played their game, and I think +2 Shadow Ball did like 60 or 70% or something to Reggie. I don't remember exactly, but it does a ton to Regirock. And so even if Reggie was able to finish off Mismagius on the next turn, the Weavile could just come in and finish off the Regirock with an Icicle Crash. So this completely changed the game. If this Garchomp's not carrying Roselli Berry, then it's over, and the Sandshrews have it in the bag. But anyways, Garchomp's got the Roselli Berry and is able to take out the Mess Magus with an Outrage. Now in comes the Weavile. It's outsped by Garchomp under the webs, but it's carrying Priority Eye Shard, so it's able to finish off the Garchomp. Now in comes the Regirock, and he's going to take this knockoff easily because, like I said, he doesn't have an item anymore, so it's not boosted. The Earthquake does not that much, really. The Icicle Crash does a little bit, but then he remembers that he has Drain Punch, and he finishes the Weavile off. And Regirock is able to pick up his 3rd KO of the game, and the Torkoals move to 2-0. A really great battle. It's just a complete bloodbath. Only 20 turns and 11 Pokemon went down in this match, so that's just insane. That was a Pokemon going down almost like every other turn, so just a really fast-paced, crazy match. It was really fun to watch, especially after the 56-turn match that the Torkoals had last week. They then come back this week with a 20-turn match, so that was pretty funny, I thought. Anyways, let's talk about the MVP of this game, and it's going to go to Regirock of the Torkoals. He was able to pick up 3 KOs, and he also was able to get up the rocks that did a lot of chip damage throughout the course of the game. So Reggie's definitely the MVP of this week. Or not of this week, but of this match. But with 3 KOs, he coming through, and he also walled the Muck really well. He's able to finish off the Mimikyu. Like I said, the Sandshrews didn't really have an answer for this guy, and Sandshrews needed something to spin out those rocks and those webs as it gave him fits all game. But yeah, great game from these guys. It was a really fun game to watch. I love the fast-paced matches like this. It was just an absolute bloodbath. Great game, guys. Yeah, good game to Regirock, coming in with the 3 KOs. Love to see the Inhumans showing out. Good stuff. Alright, also, Roselli Berry is clutch.